Hello, everyone. Hyperkalemia treatment has not been reinvented. What has changed is how we assess risk, how safely we shift potassium, and how much we now emphasize actually removing it. A potassium value is not a complete risk assessment. Consider how fast it rose, renal function, comorbidity, symptoms, and the electrocardiogram. And ask whether the result fits the patient. Hemolysis and sampling artifact are common. Most importantly, a normal ECG does not rule out dangerous hyperkalemia. In severe or high-risk hyperkalemia, think in 3 objectives. Restore cardiac conduction when indicated. Shift potassium into cells, temporarily. Then remove it definitively. Even our explanation of the first step is evolving. Rather than simply stabilizing the membrane, experimental evidence now suggests calcium restores calcium-dependent cardiac propagation and conduction. Repeat calcium may be needed if the ECG abnormalities do not normalize. Remember, calcium restores cardiac conduction. It does not lower the potassium. 3 changes. First, insulin. A meta-analysis of retrospective cohorts found lower dosing was associated with less hypoglycemia and similar potassium lowering, though later studies conflict. Hypoglycemia occurs in about 1 in 6 hospitalized patients treated with insulin for hyperkalemia. Dextrose wears off before insulin, so glucose monitoring must continue after treatment. And the review favors 10% dextrose. 50% is hypertonic and may worsen hyperkalemia by shifting potassium out of cells. Second, bicarbonate is not routine therapy for acute potassium lowering. Evidence is limited and inconsistent, with only selective use in marked metabolic acidosis. Third, oral binders do remove potassium, but evidence for their benefit in the first hours of an emergency remains limited. The biggest conceptual mistake is stopping once the potassium falls. Shifting potassium is not removing potassium. Rebound can occur, so potassium must be reassessed. Think about dialysis early in advanced chronic kidney disease, oliguric acute kidney injury, or refractory hyperkalemia. It is the most effective way to remove potassium. And afterward, do not reflexively abandon RAS inhibition. When possible, control the potassium so indicated disease-modifying therapy can continue.